Well, welcome. It is always good to be back with you. Here we are at the very end of 2016. It really seems like just a blink of an eye when we were at the end of 2015. We're about to enter our 100th birthday in 2017, which we're going to talk about. But first, I want to give you a summary of the budget and just the status of some of the projects going on. So we have an extensive list. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First of all, with the budget. You know, the city economy is extremely good. It's very robust. We have quality development all around the city. Housing starts are up. 360 is being developed. I-30 is now getting the service roads. I-20 will be getting the service roads. About the only black cloud that was really on the city budget process this year was health insurance. And the city manager asked all the directors to ask our employees just to manage their health care just a little bit better. There's a lot of things we have in place that you can do to help us. Keep in mind the city health insurance is cash funded. We pay the claims directly out of the city budget. We pay United Healthcare to manage our claims, and in turn we get to use their network, but all that money comes right out of the budget. And this year we were $3 million over. So all we ask all city employees, in particular the firefighters, try to use Compass when you can. Compass will find you the best quality at the best price. And also remember, another thing that is really hurting the budget is many employees use the emergency rooms as their primary health care. And that is really expensive. So if you can do a couple of those things to help out, remember every penny comes right out of the budget, which is really a direct reflection of raises and some of the equipment and tools and apparatus that we may need in the future. So enough of the health insurance, back to the city budget. It was a really good year. Besides the 3% pay raise, we kept our merit raises and our step raises. Some of the things we're getting, some of the substance that we're getting for the fire department, we will be getting a new EMS lieutenant vehicle. We're going to try to transition from that white truck concept into more of a light rescue concept, and that's being looked at now. Engine 3 will get a new engine. We will get 3 new ambulances that will be remounted just like we did last time. We are getting a new brush truck, and we're getting a plethora of other smaller things, but one of the things I wanted to mention is we're trying to turn our ambulances into mobile hotspots and get away from the air card or the cell card on your computer and truly make your ambulance a Wi-Fi. We're hoping that helps with connection. We're hoping that helps with your MCTs and all those issues. Also in the budget, we did get money for Station 4 land and Station 4 design. We were in the process of closing out and trying to close on some land. Something happened, I really don't know what, and we lost that land, so we were back to square one trying to find new land for Fire Station 4. But what I can tell you, especially guys at Station 4, you got to have something better. The mayor had lunch there the other day and really realized this is just not a great living environment. So coming soon, we really hope, will be land and we can start the design process on Station 4. So let's talk about next budget, next 17-18 budget year. Our focus will be on fire prevention. Our fire prevention is woefully behind. We all know that. We react to problems, but we're not proactive to getting out, doing inspections and trying to prevent some of the fires that are going on in our city. So next year, we're going to really focus on beefing up our fire prevention. I don't know if you know, but Randy, Craig, and Laretha have already moved over to the Development Center. We have a very nice office over there with space to grow. So next year, we're looking at adding at least 1 officer and maybe a firefighter, or maybe 1 officer and maybe 2 firefighters to our inspection review process and really try to get that up to modern standards. We're also going to look at EMS. EMS is probably our biggest risk, our biggest reward, and it's our biggest volume department. And every year we're probably going to do something every year to enhance our EMS department. We're looking at maybe adding a firefighter to help with some of the supply issues. And truthfully, I'd like to see the EMS captain spot upgraded 1 level So we'll try that in the budget process and see if we can get that done. We're also looking at putting the peak demand ambulance back in place. We would like to staff the Epic with a paramedic. We don't know if we will hire an extra paramedic or if we will use overtime. But those are just some things we'd like to see done on the EMS side. So in summary, for next year, prevention will be the priority, and then EMS will continue to get its enhancements as we grow our EMS department. Some things that are going on in the city. I don't know if you saw or participated in the Big X. It happened on C Shift. It was a 16 county exercise that did hazmat, SWAT, mass casualty, the whole gamut of our response. We hosted probably one of the biggest and most important sites out of the 16 county at the old UA Theater. It happened on a C Shift. Kudos to C Shift. I know you were spread thin. I know that was a rough day because you had many other things going on, but great job, C Shift. And of course, Nora, Chase, and Mike, you guys did tremendous amount of planning. So hopefully, let's take a couple of years off on these big exercises, and we'll have another one, let's just say in 2020. But great job to everybody on the Big X. Hopefully you heard, but we are now in ISO 1. That is hard to believe for our fire department when we are in ISO 3. What that means to you as firefighters is hardly anything. It means that you are now one of the elite departments in the United States. What it means to our taxpayers is this. Our residential homeowners will get about a 6% break on their homeowner insurance effective April 1st. Our commercial insurance business owners will get up to an 8% break on their commercial insurance. Now for the average homeowner, you're looking at a $60 to $80 savings. You multiply that over hundreds of thousands of people, it's a nice savings. Look at the business side. Take IKEA, for example, and you trim 8% off of their commercial insurance. It will be astronomical money that our businesses will save. And it is all because of our fire department, our water department, and our 911 center. We are now in the top 0.1% of all departments. For example, there's only 203 in the entire United States that is an ISO 1, and we are one of them. So congratulations to you for doing what you're doing. This will take effect April 1st, and it will last for 10 years. So I will tell you, I'm not sure who will be sitting in this chair in 10 years, but it probably won't be me to deal with the next review. On that, Chief Kirby, great job. Kirby Allman, you were you spearheaded this. You get to remain battalion chief. Other things coming up, our department physicals. I believe Chad Hill will be coordinating that. That is his promotional assignment. This is year 2 of our 3-year process. So if you're over 45, you're looking at a physical and stress test. And if you're under 45, you're looking at just a physical. And that will start in March, I believe, are the dates we're looking at, late March. Chad Hill will be putting something out really soon. You know about the Class B driver's license issue. Captain Pawanka is trying to focus on that. In fact, I saw an email about we're already starting to test on that. No need to worry about who to blame. It's a 12-year problem, but all I can say is we got to fix it by state law and by civil service. The LexiPoll program that you have been hearing about for probably 2 years, we're going to roll it out in January, whether it's working 100% or not. So Chief Whitney will be coming around showing everybody their login and how to manipulate the online policy. But starting January, that long-term project will be starting because we have got to get our policies and procedures to the modern standard. The Fire Academy is going well with the school district in Tarrant County. Lieutenant Carey is the commander, as most of you know, and a lot of you are out there instructing these fine young adults. I'm hearing great things from the school district. I'm hearing great things from our instructors. Of course, we've had our challenges, and we'll continue to have these challenges as we enter our 2nd year next year, when we will have 2 academies going on. So much more will be coming about this, but this is truly one of those great programs that we get to see diversity and we get to show these young adults an opportunity that they would have never gotten unless it wasn't for the department, the school district, and the college. So thank everyone who's helped on that program, but it will be continuing and much more will come out later. The Grand Prairie Irving Training Center has broke ground and it is well on its way. As you can see from the pictures, the classroom is being constructed, the trench props are being constructed, and the tower is also being constructed. We're looking at an April to May opening. Again, we've talked about this. We know that it's not the ideal world, that it is about eight miles north of our city. But it was one of those win-wins for us and Irving. It will be a good partnership. We're going to make it work. So starting next summer, we will have our own official training center that we can call home. I'm looking at a mid-budget, a mid-budget addition to our department called a media coordinator. We have nobody in our department that does social media, Twitter, marketing, branding, website. We are woefully behind when it comes to selling ourselves. We have too many good stories that go on that we could share, that we don't share. So through the budget process and with city manager approval, we're looking at hiring a non-uniformed civilian type position to manage our media and manage our social media, hopefully around February or March, but more will come out about that and exactly who that person will be. Quick updates on the teams. Hazmat, always a work in progress. Lieutenant Stevenson, as you well know, he's in charge of that program and it is going as good as it can. Constant training, constant work, and believe it or not, it's actually making money through our revenue recovery. So that's a very added value benefit with Hazmat. Swiftwater's off and running. That will be an every year, every training event. I believe Captain Jurek and Lieutenant Goodrum are the ones in charge of that. But more work will always be done on Swiftwater because as soon as we get this to where we want it, we'll probably be in a drought and go 3 or 4 years. But I can promise you, Swiftwater will come back to our city as the floods and rains predominantly always do. The dive team with Lieutenant Romchek is always a work in progress. I would put our dive team up against any dive team in the state, but it is a constant work. And thank you guys for what you're doing as we're starting our swimming tests and getting ready for our winter season. And then we have a new program that's not so much a new program, but it's sort of reinventing an old program of the Honor Guard. And I think Gorman's handling that with Chief Baldwin's sort of lead. But I am so glad to see an Honor Guard up and running. There's many things we do, from our retirements to our hirings to some of the more sad things like funerals, but an Honor Guard is truly one of those pride things that I would like to see our department have. So Gorman's working on that, and more will be coming out about the Honor Guard. Chief Murphy wanted me to mention a couple of things. We have several MOUs with different cities. For example, we just signed a memorandum of understanding, that's what we call an MOU, with the city of Dallas. Basically, we will respond on the managed lanes eastbound all the way past Loop 12. There's no way they can get to it. So we are going to be going deep into Dallas on I-30 because of the managed lanes. In turn, they're going to be coming deep into Grand Prairie, if not into Arlington on the westbound side, because you can only access it there at Loop 12. We also have an MOU with Dallas on the whole area in Dallas. It's actually Grand Prairie, that's the city of Dallas, and the Trinity River Authority. We have MOUs with Mansfield now for that borderless concept down south. It may take us 5 years to truly get there when we're computerized in AVL, but we do have a Mansfield agreement in place. We obviously have the Cedar Hill agreement still in place. Even with Station 10 open, we're still helping each other. And then we're looking at maybe partnering with Irving for the Bear Creek area and some of the other parts that we share territory with, because it only makes sense if we're going to be sharing a training center now that we can train together, that we respond together. Chief Murphy also wanted to mention about the Accident Review Board. He's talked about this for a couple of years, and I think he's ready to get it going. This is not going to be a peer panel that will be a gotcha. This will be a peer panel made of all ranks that will just review our vehicle and maybe our personal accidents as well, like on the fire ground. They'll just review what happened, maybe make recommendations, and we'll probably have to have a policy on it. We don't have a vehicle accident problem, but I don't want one. But it would be nice that we have a board review the good and the bad and just make recommendations that we all can learn from and try to improve things. So that is a lot going on in our department. We are approaching our 100th anniversary in 2017. You will see many things occur in 2017. You already know that our yearbook is being constructed as we speak. Chief Harvey will be in charge of the 100th anniversary committee, if you will. I don't know what they have planned, but they're going to meet sometime in December. We do have a budget for our 100th anniversary, and we will top it off with our gala, which will be probably in November of 2017, which will celebrate and end our 100th anniversary. We only get one chance at this, and we're going to try to do it right. We have to be proud of our past, proud of our current state of the union, and also always be looking forward to where we're going. I just recently ended my 4 years. Hopefully, as you should know by now, I'm here to stay. This was not just a stepping stone, as some of you may have claimed when I first got here. The good news for many of you is I've got at least 6 to 8, maybe 10 years left. So we have a lot of work to do. I truly believe in the marathon. It's not a race process, so we're going to continue to move forward and continue to move at a nice pace, but we will always move at a pace. And the bad news for some of you is I will still be here in 6 to 8 to 10 years. So it's been a fun 4 years. We've gotten a lot done, and it's all because of you and your hard work and the support of the council and the city manager. We have great command staff, great paramedics, great officers. I can't tell you, we are just in a perfect position as we enter our 100th anniversary and our 100th birthday. So I will wrap it up. I want to thank you again for your hard work. All I ask is to be safe and go home tomorrow morning. Thank you.